Good evening, Keepers of the Cash. Gary B, the Casual Comic Guy here, and joining me in the co-hosting seat, none other than Steve the Voice White. How you doing tonight, Steve?
Good day, everybody.
And a new recurring member of the channel. You know him, you love him. The guy down below, Cliff on Comics. How you doing, Cliff?
Good. I'm glad I made it for this.
Oh, me too. And, of course, one of my favorite people on YouTube. I absolutely love this guy. He's amazing. And I'm glad to have him back on for a second time. We have Cup of Comics, Will. He is our spotlight tonight. Will, how you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing great. It's good to be here in the 10-1-1. I'm glad to be back second time here. It means I might have done something right the first time, or is this my chance for redemption? I don't know. We'll find out.
We will see. We will see tonight.
Any way you want to.
I was gonna say I was saying before we came on the show, I was telling Gary and the rest of the crew here that I had forgot or just miscounted my books, so that tonight we might have had to rename the show the 911. But
that's okay. For my episode, it was like the 25-1-1.
Yeah.
Not even had as much as Joe from Erotic Comics. Joe did like 100-1-1.
Yeah, Joe started it. It was his fault.
But, Will, before we get to the audience here, give us a quick 2-minute drill. Who you are, what your channel's about, where people can find you on the social medias. And, of course, everyone needs to know if you're watching this on the rewind or live, all of Will's links are in the description below, along with Steve's, and I'll be adding clips afterward as well. But, Cuppy?
Yeah, so I started this channel basically during the pandemic. So I'm just Will or Cup or Cuppy or Cup of Comics, whatever you want to call me. I go by all of them. Basically, yeah, I started this channel during the pandemic because I just miss going to comic shops, miss talking to people, miss talking comics. So I actually started by watching some YouTubers, and then I was like, oh, this is fun. And I figured if I start making videos, then I can get some reactions and jump in with the crowd, and that's pretty much what I've been doing. So I do haul videos, I do preview videos of the comics coming out for the week, I do new comic book day videos, and then occasionally I'll do something wacky here and there, but they're all comic related mostly. Sometimes I do sports. I do love sports. I'm a big sports guy. During the football season, during my live show, I'll do some color commentary on what's happening on the Monday Night Football game. But for the most part, we're just doing comics. You can find me on Instagram, Cup of Comics. You can find me here on YouTube, Cup of Comics. That's pretty much it. I am on Twitter or X, whatever we call it these days.
Well, I don't think they're signed into Twitter or X now for like months. I just don't care for that app.
So yeah, you can tweet me on X, the most hostile app on the planet.
There we go.
But yeah, I do post my videos up there every once in a while, mostly the haul videos and the new comic book day video and the preview videos. I do a live show on Monday Night Raw Books. So if you can
I've
check
never heard of it.
Oh, it's crazy. Monday night lineup. We just got a new member, the Council of Comics. They just joined us. So
well, Cliff is the official new stream crasher, so
clips everywhere.
If y'all have noticed, I've really tried to tone it down quite a bit, but as soon as Will mentioned he was going to be on the 10-1-1 tonight, I was like, I gotta get home before 8 o'clock. I gotta message Gary. I gotta make it happen.
And you made it.
I was like, Daddy needs me.
That was a hashtag last night. Hashtag Zaddy.
Let's say hi to our crowd here tonight. We have Mr. Ruby Guzman in. Ruby G, how you doing, sir? Nice to see you, as always. One of my all-time favorite people, Jerry the Jitterbug. We got Jerry. Steve, our co-host, saying hi to everybody. Yep. We got his Canadian brother, Brad, here. How you doing, Brad? Nice to see you, sir. another favorite person of mine, Anachronic Comics Joe. And we have Cliff saying hi to everybody. And right, couching and slouching with C Bizzle. Good evening, sir.
C Bizzle. He reached 400 last night. C Bizzle. Congratulations.
Congrats,
Oh, congrats, man.
And he's the newest member of the Council of Comics. There you go.
There you go.
Dagger
Double.
Cards.
You dagger?
Oh, well, I want to point out that I've had Cliff as a guest on my show many times, but I've never been invited anywhere on his channels. You know, I'm just saying that.
Oh, just saying.
Just putting that out there that it's only been a one-way street. You know, well, you know how that goes, buddy.
Have I not told First of all, I asked you about a Saturday morning, and work was a conflict, if I recall correctly, sir.
No, I picked on you for not inviting me. You said the invite was coming. I just haven't got the invite yet.
Okay, clearly I was blindsided. The invite is coming. Don't worry, I got something special for you.
Extra special now.
Right.
Not as special as what I have for Will, but it'll be special.
There you go. And we'll keep giving a tip of the hat to those who are joining us as they're getting their notifications. But we're going to bring it back to you, good sir, and we'll stop picking on Cliff for a few minutes, and we'll see what you got for some books.
All right.
That's not going to last.
Well, we haven't seen Cliff in a couple weeks, so you gotta give him a good-natured ribbon.
I need y'all to miss me. I gotta pull that Alexis Colby stuff. I'm sorry, I'm interrupting. Go ahead.
No, I heard Cliff likes a good ribbon.
Yeah, baby.
All right. So I basically collected comics early 90s and late 80s. So I'm old. All right. But I got back into comics probably around 2011 when DC did the New 52. Primarily with Scott Snyder, Greg Capullo. Their Batman brought me into it. But that was really all I was reading at the time. I maybe dabbled in some Spider-Man and, occasionally like a Hulk or a Captain America comic. But I really wasn't full-fledged back into comics. Roll in 2013, and I start to get into the X-Men. So this is X-Men number 1, right? Brian Michael Bendis on this one. Bacalo. Gold Balls, first appearance of Gold Balls in this issue.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never heard of
them. Gold Balls, plural.
Yep.
He's got many. But he's part of the Resurrection team. So he's
nice.
But this comic is kind of what got me back into reading Marvel books, primarily X-Men titles. You got Magneto in that white suit, and you got Cyclops in that suit with the X in the face, and it was just something visually that drew me in. So this book kind of got me back on the X-Men.
Now I'm gonna have to give you what's called a fair warning, Will.
Okay.
We usually on this show when people come on, they don't show Brian Michael Bendis books. It only seems to happen when Cliff is here, and usually it triggers him. So right now there's there's a trigger effect going on.
No, Trigger Jim is not in the house to fully trigger me. That's the trick.
Oh man!
Because at some point we're gonna see CNN news coverage of Cliff tackling Brian Michael Bendis to hash out some beef in public at some point.
Everybody always seems to have beef with some comic creator at some point.
My beef with him is a talent beef, not a I hate you beef.
Okay.
You could have done this, but you did that. I told you to your face in Baltimore to do this, and you did that. You had this argument with the creator of The Walking Dead.
Joe's got your back. Joe's got your back, Cliff.
Kirkman?
Yeah.
Robert Kirkman.
Right, he did this panel with Kirkman, and I was like, you try to blow it off like there was no winner. Kirkman was the absolute winner. I mean, I have so much, he could write women better. I have so much work ethic beef with him. But and then when he did the Superman
I was gonna ask, was it Superman? Was that the inciting?
No, I was already mad before we got to Superman. Then he killed the Kandorians, and I was just like, oh, I'm done with you.
You see, and this is without Jim being here to trigger him, Will.
And this is without Trigger Jim being present.
Trigger Jim. It's a reprint.
For the record, I'm picking on Cliff, but I agree with all his points. Number two, Will.
But that X-Men launch was good.
Yeah, that was
a good book.
And they used some of the characters that came out of that in the Craig Cohen era, so that was cool. This is just a change of pace, but this book for me, I was going through my collection. This one was just too good to pass up. This was a 50-cent find in the bins. It's not a major key or anything like that, right? But it's a really cool Jenny Frison cover.
Oh yeah,
nice.
Yeah.
So then I was at New York Comic Con, and there you'll see the New York Comic Con label up here. And I went to the eBay booth, and eBay was doing autographs for Jenny Frison. So I happened to pull the one and only Remark raffle. So I got a Jenny Frison Remark. Now, it's not very good. I'll be the first to tell you this Mystique Remark's not very good, but Jenny Frison really doesn't do Remarks. So especially like free ones.
Is that Momoko's signature on there?
Yes. Peach is over here.
Yeah.
You got Peach here, Frison here, Remark here. But yeah, so I get the raffle ticket and I go up, and the first thing our handler is like, all right, ladies and gentlemen, signatures, have your books out, no Remarks, no blank covers, blah, blah, blah. Goes through like this whole thing. He's like, CGC's here if you want your stuff witnessed, et cetera, et cetera. So I walk up and I'm like, haha, these suckers. Luckily, I drew the Remark ticket, and they look at me and they're like, bro, we just said no Remarks. And I'm like,
but I got a Remark ticket.
Yeah, I'm like, I know, I'm not asking. I drew the ticket for the Remark, and they're all looking at each other, and she's like talking to her handler, and then Big Clutch, I don't know if you know him, he's a guy who works for Image, kind of sets up the booths at the thing, and he was the guy who gave me the ticket. He's like, hey, you got you getting your Remark? And I was like, I don't know. They're giving me a hard time about it. And then Jenny was like, no, it's fine. She's like, I'm just not ready to do Remarks. She just had like a couple of Sharpies, and she was like, all right, well, I'll do one.
Do a quickie.
So she ended up doing the Remark, even though
it works. So
bit. What's that?
Said it works. That's fine.
Yeah. So then Peach was doing. So this was at New York Comic Con. I was there for all 4 days. Peach was doing a Remark raffle on hers, but you had to roll a die. And if you rolled the die and you got, there's literally like a Peach signature on the die, you got a Remark. As you can see, there's no Remark from Peach. So I lost every day, but I went every single day to her line, rolled the dice. By like Saturday, because I had brought up books for her to sign. By Saturday, I had like no books for her to sign. So like, why are you here? Where's your books? Take them out. I'm like, no, I'm just here to roll the die because I want to win a Remark for this book. So I'm gonna keep bringing this book with me to any con she's at, just so I can roll the dice, so I can get a Remark and have the double Remark.
That would be amazing.
Jenny, so you crack it out and do it again.
Yeah, and this was in the 50-cent bin, so I was surprised when it came back a 9.6.
Right, and and it just proves to you can find good things in the 50-cent dollar bins.
Yeah,
I found excellent things in the dollar bin this weekend. I had a great time.
Nice. I got a good dollar book today. Adam Hughes' Hellboy interiors too.
Ooh,
cover and interior.
Can't go wrong with Adam Hughes.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, number 3. Well, good story on that one, buddy.
Thank you. So speaking of
now, you won't be allowed back on the channel until you get that other remark.
Right. No third appearance to you. You finally get that remark. Damn it. We'll work on it. This book is again a New York Comic Con find. This was earlier when I started going to New York Comic Con. This is probably the 2nd or 3rd year. I get some friends together. We're going. And every morning we wake up, we get off the train, we walk to the Javits Center, and there's like this, not every morning, it's Saturday and Sunday mornings. There's a Hell's Kitchen like flea market. So pretty cool flea market. You walk through, it's got tons of stuff, but we're there for Comic-Con. So we're like, all right, let's just walk around it. We walk around it, never go through it. That was Saturday. Sunday, it was like, you know what? It's a chill day. Why don't we've been going to Comic-Con. New York Comic-Con starts on Thursday. So it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Went every single day. It's Sunday morning, and we're like, let's just walk through. So we walk through. We finally get to the end where it's like actually closest to the Javits Center, and we find like a little tent with this old lady who's got a bunch of trinkets, and she's got some books, some X-Men books. Now, before that, we had actually stopped at another booth with a guy who had a bunch of stuff, and he had like coverless, like comics, and they were cool. They were like from the 30s. Well, maybe one was from the 30s. Couldn't even tell what it was. No cover though. You could just read like the inside. And then there was some other books there. So I just asked him, I was like, how much are these books? And I'm thinking he's going to say, you know, a couple bucks for, he's like looking at each one. He's like, that one's 30, that one's 50. And I'm like, wow, they're coverless. I don't even know what's in these books, you know? So I just throw the books down, walk away. We keep walking. We find this lady with a nice booth, and she's got some trinkets, and she has a box of X-Men books. And she was selling her X-Men books for about $2 a piece.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
All right.
So we got the first Bishop in there, first cover appearance.
First full Bishop, yeah.
Yeah. So also, and I pulled a couple of books out of there. That was one of the highlights, and this was another book, and these were only $2 a piece. So
nice.
Yeah.
A good
some old Uncanny X-Men.
That's a great $2 pickup.
Yeah.
Damn
first cover and second Sinister, I believe. So yeah, so I got lucky, but sometimes you just have to
roll the dice,
just break from the norm,
right?
Take a different path. Because after I met that first guy, I was like, let's get out of this flea market. This is, it's New York. We're in, the middle of Midtown. It's, near Hell's Kitchen, theater districts, all that. Javits is around. I'm like, everything here is overpriced. Even the flea market's overpriced. But we just stopped in this one booth, little tent. Little old lady had a box of X-Men books, and
that's what I'm finding. The cons are still freaking way overpriced. I'm hoping that Fan Expo this year mellows out.
New York Comic Con has become nearly everything I hate. Terrificon is terrific. All right.
Barry Gary.
Whose?
Is it Barry Gary that does that one?
Yeah, sure, he goes there. And listen, I love Barry Gary. Okay, but that is Mitch's con. That man works alone. Let us bow to his temple for a moment because he works so hard. All right, all right, Mitch Haddock, we love you. We're gonna see you at Terrificon. All right, so Terrificon is terrific. All right, you real vendors there, real comics. All right, deals to be had. These little meetups that people are having, like the 3-minute basement swap I went to, real deals to be had, real negotiations. Baltimore Comic-Con, still an actual Comic-Con, real comic sales, real negotiations to be had. New York Comic-Con stopped being a Comic-Con almost around year 3, and then when I went 2 years ago, there was at least still some vendors. Then this year, I missed it, and every single person came back to me telling me they saw no comics, no statues. They don't know what the hell they attended.
Wow.
Thank God that Artist Alley was still untouched.
Well, yeah, that's what I go for now. I just go to Artist Alley and I just hit up the creators and come out with maybe a few books.
And that's my favorite part. If you watch the council video we did for 2022. You'll see that I'm just going through the aisles of Artist Alley having a great time.
Mm-hmm.
I went to my first con a couple months ago, and that was Steel City Con, and that was good. That had a lot of vendors in there, and I got a bunch of stuff for my kid, but I got some good deals. There was some vendors there with really good prices.
That's the little ones, yeah. The little ones still are okay. It's these big ones that just turn into Disneyland.
We got to support the shows that still actually sell comics and have comic book salesmanship because
I was buying dollar covers, and any local LCS or any other LCS, the books I was paying $1 for were $8 to $12 at those LCSs.
Yeah.
And then I bought 11 books, and she goes, just give me 10.
Nice.
Right?
There you go.
That's sweet. Yeah, you got to find the cons with actual vendors because then you can actually get deals, right? Because everybody's trying to outdo everybody. New York Comic Con, nobody's trying to outdo anybody. They just have other exclusives.
The Long Island Aeronautical Museum, they just did theirs this weekend. Again, a real comic book show. That meetup for Route 110 was on Sunday. If I wasn't so tired from 3 Men in the Basement the day before, I would have hit that too. Also very good. It's great that this stuff is still happening. And King Kong, fabulous this year. I'm begging the showrunners to please come back to that same hotel next year. It was easy for me to drive to. It was a tremendous space. There were deals to be had. I snatched at Spidey Super Stories, and I'm taking up too much of your time. But okay.
You're fine. I was just thinking next time I'm going to go to a con, it's going to be like, well, is it easy for Cliff to drive to? Because that's what I'm looking for.
Are you even on the East Coast?
I'm in Rochester, New York.
Oh.
Yeah, you got one coming up, Gary, in June or July?
We have a little fest here, Empire Comic Fest, July
nice.
12th and 13th. Milt will be up for that one. So we'll be having a fun day.
Maybe I'll dare to venture up.
Ooh,
you have a blast.
Only like 5 hours.
Rochester might as well be the West Coast.
Number 4 copy.
I'm on the train and I'll drive us up. It'll be great.
Yeah, I'll grab Mark and we'll come across the wall and we'll see what's what.
Exactly. We'll have a grand old time.
I would love to come up. I would love to hang out. And I'm looking forward to Heroes Con and Terrific Con. So I'm looking forward to meeting people there. This was a
pickup. There you go, guys. More fuel. Joe might be up for it too this year again.
Holy crap.
All right, Will, you gotta come. You gotta come. We gotta do this.
Empire Comic Fest. Is that what
we gotta do it? We gotta bring the Puerto Ricanness to Empire Comic Fest.
And we gotta do a live too.
Bring the Boricuas in the house. All right. So this was I'm just thinking about Comic Cons now, and I'm like, I want to go to a con. This was a pickup though for my LCS. This was on the wall. I got a decent deal on. I think it was $75. At that price point, I just couldn't resist. And at the same time, I pretty much bought it. Right. So this was in 2020, summer of 20. CGC, I believe, had a signing with Mark Bagley. And so I bought it, sent it in, and this is what I got.
9.8, nice.
Ooh, that 9.8 special label.
Damn.
Oh,
wow.
Oh my God, I just got
That's a good placement of a signature. I like that.
Yeah,
nice.
So I find it hard to get. Usually, when I send the book in to get a signature, it comes back like 9.4 on there. Like, so when I saw this one come back 9.8 with the sig, I know
that feeling well. You got your hopes up. Everyone tells you it's clean. You get it back, you're like, fucking liars.
Yeah. Look, why did it come back at 9? You said it was near mint plus.
Right? Honestly, if that book came back 9.2 or better, I would not be mad at all. Not be mad at all.
Yeah,
I traded that book away twice in the last 2 years.
Yeah, it's a good book.
One of it was double signed by Bagley and Amberlin.
Ooh, wow. That's a nice one. Yeah, I don't know if I can ever crack it open for another signature. Now it's coming back 9.8.
Sign the case. Sign the case.
Yeah.
Just because, I mean, it's a nice book. I'm just not a symbiote guy, so I'm like, I traded it for keys I wanted.
You're not a symbiote guy.
No,
I know. Did you read your own book that you wrote?
I find that the funniest thing of all, Cliff. I really do.
I'm not a symbiote guy, so I was driven by the forces of the universe to write a symbiote sex title.
I know, right?
Come on, what's this, huh? Look, look,
and she's got wings like Venom, like the King in Black Venom wings. Look at
that. That was written well before all that.
We got him sandwiched, Cliff. We got him.
You took all your dislike of the symbiotes and channeled it and combined it with sexual frustration and Hadouken into this need book, which I love. Everyone pick one up on Amazon.
Made it into an actual threat.
Yes.
Oh my God, this is awesome.
Not an anti-hero.
See, I should have been saving this for the night where we put you in the hot seat. I gotta have something lined
Well,
up.
you better keep taking
yeah.
notes, guys. It's gonna be you, John, and Digger Jim.
It's gotta be great.
Oh,
I'm sure
man.
Steve will
Hurry
try
up,
to
Will. Get
his
another
way
one in
on
there quick.
Right.
Huh?
Well, it's a break. All right. So speaking of cons, I actually picked this one up right before Heroes Con. So this one kind of led me last year's Heroes Con. So this kind of led me into what I was shopping for at Heroes Con. But I'm a big Spider-Man fan, and I've been trying to fill my run. Lately, my primary objective is getting every book between 200 and 300, right? So, because anything underneath 200 is going to cost a pretty penny. So, but we'll work on that as well. But I did with this book, right as I say that, I did with this book get below the 100 mark, and I got this amazing Spider-Man 51, the first cover of the Kingpin.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. So now if you see up here, it's got a little tear. So
Little tape
just a little missing and some a little bit here. But I got a really good deal on this. I got this on eBay, I think, for about $30, $35.
Hey, that's awesome.
So
Yeah, it is a good deal. Nice.
I will take that any day. So I went into Heroes Con with the
You can get a Sharpie and fix that.
What's the word I'm looking for? Well, my mission was to, like, again, fill the 200 to 300 range. So that book kind of whet my appetite. So I was there and I'm like shopping for a book in the 200 to 300 range. And I think I focused in on like ASM 238, right? I think I'm going to go after the Hobgoblin book. I'm going to get a decent book. I'm going to go for like 9.2 or higher. I'm going to get something, that's going to cost a couple $100. That's my mission. So I'm the first 2 days, I'm going to different booths and I'm like, can I see that copy? Can I see that copy? Thanks. I'm talking to the booth guys. Thank you. Like, you guys do, would you work out a deal for cash? Yeah. Okay, cool. I'm like writing it in my phone. I have notes. I think I still have the note in my phone somewhere. Like I'll go back to this booth and I'll try to negotiate, and I got a couple $100 in my pocket. I end up walking by the short box booth and I see an ASM
no.
50 on the wall.
Oh no.
So I'm like, I already got 51.
Yeah,
right?
You need to have 50.
You need the companion piece. You need the first appearance.
Right.
You got a Spider-Man No More. Come on.
Yeah.
So I'm there and I see the price and I'm like debating it. And I'm like, ooh, ASM 50. And then I just hear somebody go, "You looking for an ASM 50?" And I'm like, right. And I turn and Beckerman's there. Right. So
Beckerman.
So Beckerman is there, and I'm like, "Becker, what's up?" And he's like, "Hey," he's like, "I saw you looking at the ASM 50. I heard you talking to yourself." I must have said it out loud. I was like, "Ooh, ASM 50," because he just said looking for an ASM. So I'm like, So he's like, "I just happen to have one in my bag," and he's like, "I need cash right now for like this book he was trying to buy." Right. I forget what it was. I think it was like some Superman book. Way better than probably what I was going for, but he like just needed more cash because otherwise he couldn't get it. So I was like, I got cash. Sure. So we go to the side. He pulls it out. He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "I have another one of these. I found it in my garage. My mom was cleaning it out." He's like, "It's a little, it's a little dry, brittle, but he's like, other than that, it looks really good. Presents really well." And so we talked, we made a deal. I gave him the cash. He ran off, never saw him again. I think he like bought it got on the plane. But it was like really crazy. So I ended up picking up the ASM 50.
Nice.
Spider-Man. And then
one of the most classic covers ever.
Oh, there you got that
one of the
label
most
again.
classic titles ever, Spider-Man No More.
I agree.
Yep.
So just a really cool book. I ended up getting it slabbed at New York Comic Con. Just had the New York Comic Con label put on it, but I actually got it at Heroes Con. But yeah, I just slabbed it. I knew it wasn't anything more. I actually thought it was like a 3.5. It came back a 4, so I was pleasantly surprised at that.
No, now you can send it in for the 9.9 pre-screen and get it bumped to a 5.
Should have. So yeah, but unlike the the 51, it doesn't have any like missing.
No pieces.
No,
on it.
that's beautiful.
Missing.
That
So it's
presents nice.
Well,
It's
and,
intact.
you know, Beckerman's going to treat you right anyway.
Yeah, so he gave me a sweet deal on the book, cash price. So, it left me with like just a couple of bucks.
Except he woke up in an ice bath with no kidney.
Enough money to get home.
So that was cool. So after I bought that book, I was like, all right, I bought my one big book. I hit the dollar bins, whatever. Went home. I actually drove to Heroes Con to North Carolina. So I had my car. So I was able to like fill, a short box and not worry about it, So didn't have to get on a plane. So that was nice. I know some guys went, they had to like pack, their boxes and mail some comics back to them at home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that happens.
Pro tip.
Yep.
Just mail it. And insurance.
Make sure the insurance is on there. But so I ended up getting home and I really didn't get any. I filled some X-Men, I filled some Captain America. I really didn't get a Spider-Man book that I wanted to fill that 200 to 300 gap that I was working on.
Right. So you still had the itch.
So
And
I still had the
wasn't
itch.
scratched.
Yeah, the 50 didn't solve it. Like the 50 should have. And I should have been
Right.
like, I'm fine. This is great. I'm going to put this on the wall. It didn't. I went home. So what did I do? I went to Shortbox and I got the ASM 50 on a deal there. Not there particularly, but it led me to a deal. So I'm at home and I'm like, I'll just go on the Shortbox app, see what they're going for, And I find one with a price that just looks too good to be true. And I'm like, all right, let me look at this. So I'm looking at it. I'm looking to see if it's like a replica or, something, a facsimile.
It's a reprint.
Yeah, reprint, whatever. I'm making sure it's got, does it have the tattoos, all that stuff.
Yes. Goblin.
And it had everything. And this thing was like $200 below fair market value at the time. So I was like, boom, I get home from Heroes Con, right? I've got to replenish the store, right? I got to get groceries, bank accounts low, whatever. I'm like, too good. I'll eat ramen. So I jump on and I grab the ASM
9.4. Holy
9.4. That's great.
Whoa.
with the tattoos.
Damn.
With the tattoo. See, that's it. That's in my 8.5 or better club.
There. That'd scratch the itch.
Yeah. So after this book, I was like, you know what? We're good. We're not buying anything till right. So like Heroes Con's in June, and then I knew I had New York Comic Con in October. I'm like, between that, we're good. We're solid. No major cons.
And good.
No
Good. What a great grade too.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're
So
mint,
it was just one of those too good to be true. Like something in my gut just said, just look. Just open the app and look. And
you gotta follow your gut sometimes.
Yeah. And I looked at that. I was gonna look at Shortbox, look at eBay, whatever. But when I saw the price and then I like went to eBay and compared it, and then I went to some other apps and and compared it, I was like, I can't beat this price. So
no, Shortbox is pretty good that way.
And it's weird too because you would think other people would be like honing in on those deals and they don't notice them.
Yeah, their shipping is horrible to Canada.
Oof.
You don't say.
Yeah, that damn wall of ours,
Steve, what part of Canada are you in?
Ontario.
The cold part.
Are you near Ottawa?
Yes, 5 hours.
Do you know that the comic book shop, the second location, is closing and they have a massive sale?
I think Mark told me about that. Yes.
Oh, get on it. Get on it, baby. Please. Not the one in the PN. That's the original store. That one's staying open. The other one.
Yeah.
So, wow.
I
just shipped 2 things to Canada recently, and I shipped, 2 things within the US. So within the US, I was using Pirate Ship, right? Somebody told me about
Pirate Ship, my man.
And
dude,
I was like, yes, let's jump
Pirate
on
Ship.
this. It's a shipping app. Like it just.
I turned Rob Fatstacks turned me onto it. I turned C-Bizzle onto it. It is amazing. We shipped that big ass box of stuff 2 months ago from the council to Canada for $30. I still can't get over it.
Holy crap!
Amazing.
That is
amazing. You got past the dragons.
I need to get a printer and a scale to use that.
So what I've learned is if you put a comic mailer right? So I don't need a scale for this, like comic mailer,
Right.
because I know if I put 6 books in here and just tape it closed, it's like 1 pound and like 11 ounces, sometimes 16 ounces, depending on how thick the book is, but it's always under 2. So if you want to be safe, you just put 2 pounds on a comic mailer with 6 books in it, and you're done.
And Gary, do you have a regular scale?
Or a luggage scale or something, right?
Just put the stuff right on the scale, right? And then round up.
I know. I don't have I got to get a printer.
All right. That
Or when Gary joins the 21st century and gets himself a printer.
Because what do you print at home? Nothing.
Shipping labels all day, baby, all day, and immigration documents, and filing documents for LLCs. Actually, my life is very different from everybody else's, so I do understand.
No, but I do got to get on it because I'm still paying it at the post office.
Yeah, that's insane.
Like I shipped that book. I shipped that book across to TM Nerdy when he won a signed copy of Need. And it was $24 to ship that little book.
Yeah, that's like 7 copies of Need.
Yeah. Like, come on.
I'm
Everybody
like,
needs a Need.
bucks? I'm like, whew.
Yeah. No,
Symbiote.
shipping to Canada, everything is at least $20, I feel like minimum.
At least.
Yeah. So, but you could ship to California for like $7.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, I as much as I love a good discount, oh my God, we're talking so much about this. As much as I love a good discount, I don't mess with media mail. I just don't.
Oh God, no.
I'm like, I will ship priority plus if you're paying for it. I will use Pirate Ship and UPS for Canada and make it work. But listen, I know a lot of people have 95% success rates with media mail, but that 5% non-success rate is what scares me.
Right.
Where it's crumpled up like a tinfoil.
Exactly.
Jesus.
Oh.
Will, number 8, sir.
Now that we solved the shipping woes. Moving on.
All right. Continuing with the theme of Spider-Man, right?
Spider-Man.
So now we get to let me do this in this order. We get to comics curing cancer.
Ooh.
There's a
so last year I was extremely busy, just working, right? And these guys were kicking butt, but I'm at work, so I'm turning into the streams, but I'm not able to really purchase anything, which is sad. But then Sunday rolls around, and I finally get a day off on Sunday, and I'm like, I'm gonna tune in, I'm gonna get me some books, I don't care, right? And we're gonna be happy. So a little background story. This book came out, my comic book shop guy, I ordered it through him. He was like, yeah, my LCS guy, he's like, yeah, I got you, whatever. Don't worry about it. This book comes out, flies off the shelves, and he was like, I go into the comic book store. I'm like, I don't have to worry because I ordered this book. Mm-hmm. I get to the comic book store, and he's like, yeah, I got your cut. Where'd it go? And he's like, oh, no. He's like, I think I might have put it on the shelf. And I'm like,
oh no.
So I'm like, and I was like, I pre-ordered this like 6 weeks ago. Like I put it in, I went into, he uses, so if you go to the previews world, right? He uses like this app in there. It's called Longbox or Pullbox. Excuse me. It's called Pullbox.
Yeah, I do it with my LCS. I order all my stuff and it goes right there.
Yeah.
Me
too.
So I use the Pullbox, and yeah, he gets it everything right. So I was like a little disappointed, but I will say my LCS guy, for a long time he was the only employee, and now he's got like 2 other employees, but he basically does it all. And he was there. He used to be there 7 days a week. Always busy. So he 90, 95, 98% of the time he gets it right. A couple of times there's some screw ups, but I can't blame him because he does well. He does right by me. There's books that sometimes pop on eBay for like $40, and he'll be like, I'll give it to you 15. And I'm like, would you do 10? And he's like, yeah, sure, whatever. He's like, I just want it out of the store.
Right.
And then sometimes I feel bad about that, right? Because he's already cut it at half price. And I'm like, can you take like another $5 off? And he's like, whatever. So he does right by me all the time. So anyway, I didn't end up getting this book, but I get on, C3, and what's the first book that I see? I believe it was Rob Fat Stax puts it up. And look, this is not a major key by any means, but it's a Spider-Man book that came out and it was popular. If you're a Spider-Man fan, and you want all the periphery characters, you get it. So I'm also I'm a fan of Dan Slott when he was writing Spider-Man a while ago. Like Dan Slott Spider-Man now doesn't do it for me, but 5-10 years ago he was great. So anyway, this was the book I was talking about, right? Spider-Man number 7. This is the first cover appearance of Spider-Boy.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I get it. Whatever. I forget what I paid for this. It was probably like $90 or whatever. Anyway, 9.8. I get the book that I wanted. It's slabbed. It's a 9.8, right? So
There was FOMO on that one.
Right? So the story doesn't end there though. Because Nick's Kicks and Comics did he's doing a mystery box, $65 shipped. And I've gotten mystery boxes from him before, and I was like, oh, I can't miss out on this, right? Like, this is an amazing deal. So I buy the mystery box from him, and what was my slab in that box?
Oh, nice.
Another copy, but with the custom label.
And the
karma treated you right.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I'm now a proud owner of 2 of these.
Sell one, keep the custom label.
So, I really just wanted it for cover price when it came out, but whatever.
Right.
It worked out to your advantage. See, sometimes you just got to be patient on this stuff and it'll come to you.
I'm glad that I bought the Comics Curing Cancer one because that went to a good cause. And then
Yeah, absolutely.
later on, I get the other one with the custom label. So that's cool.
Right.
Yeah, I like those custom labels. I know it's a bunch of hype and stuff, but I think they look good.
Yeah, the one I got on the New York Comic Con one that I got on the ASM 50. This one was actually free. Like, you didn't have to pay extra for it, and it has the Statue of Liberty, and it just says New York Comic Con 2011.
Oh,
That's
nice.
cool.
So that one was cool. So yeah, they were like, it's free if you want it, because normally the custom labels are like $5 a piece.
Yep.
Yeah, which isn't bad though, even at $5.
Yeah, so it's not bad.
For them
Not
to
the
print
worst
out a
thing in the
label.
world. They could charge a lot more than that.
Yep. And people would pay it.
All right. But Nick does have some great mystery boxes. So you always, I think I paid $65 shipped, and I think I valued the box at like $110 or something. And he sent me a note saying it was valued at like $106.
Looks like Chops claimed it there, Will. He wants one of them books. He'll take it off your hands.
Awesome.
Yeah, Nick always packs his stuff up. You're definitely getting out like usually double value in a Nicky box.
Listen, if you saw that review I did for the mystery box I won from DJ Links that Nick prepared for me, mwah!
Ooh. Nick's a good guy.
He's
Nick's
great.
He is. He's one of the guys. He was like one of the first friends I made on YouTube. He will still call me from his comic shop. Hey, I just found this book. Is this something you have? And like, no,
Helping you spend your money.
Yeah.
But if it's something I need, he'll pick it up, send it to me. And just
Everybody's got a friend like that helps you spend your money.
right.
Yeah.
Well, in these days too, it's easy. Like, yeah, here, let me PayPal you the cash real quick, and
Yeah, it's too convenient, isn't it?
It is too convenient. Then the next thing you know, you're doing overtime hours and door dashing and Uber Eats.
That's right. Something is draining my wallet.
Ooh.
I actually made a trade with Nick, and it was a hard trade for me because I was like, I don't want to overvalue the book. But it was a book like you really wanted for the PC. And I told him, I was like, I'm not trading this to you if you're going to sell it. And he was like, no. He still sends me pictures of the book. Like, see, I still have it. But I made a trade with him. But at first I was reluctant because I was like, I feel bad. Like, I don't know what, and then he just straight up offered me 2 books that were like worth more than the 1 book. And I was like, I don't want to do the trade. And he's like, I really want the book. He's like, and I was like, well, if you really want it, you get it. And so, yeah. So I traded him. I had a New Mutants 87, the first cable, and a 9.8, and he really wanted it. So we made the trade work. I got 2 other 9.8 slabs in return. So
there you go.
That's excellent. Yeah. So as long as everybody's happy with the trade, that works out great. Everyone walks away a winner. Everybody, yeah. Yep. He actually has the book on his wall, and I every once in a while when I'm watching his his lives or whatever, if it's on the wall with the comics, I'm like, is it still there? Yep. You can live through him.
Exactly.
And guys, we will have Doug on the show in 2 nights. We're going to talk about his book Isolation.
Yes.
Nice.
His Kickstarter. So tune in for that. Okay. Number 9.
I think we're on 9. All right. So again, we're at C3. I just got that Spider-Man book. I'm like, cool. I got something that I originally wanted. So I got it slabbed, whatever. I'm like, cool. But again, it didn't fill the void. So I'm like looking for a book again, another Spider-Man book between 200 and 300. And I'm like, we got to fill this gap. And every time I say that to myself, I end up getting a book not in that range.
Every time you say this gap,
you have a recurring theme there, Will.
So I'm like, all right, we're gonna get one of these books, and so this one pops up, and it's just I don't know why people aren't really bidding on it. It came down to between me and Comic Journey, me and CJ, and so you know what? I'm like, it's me and CJ. Let's go. Let's do this. He constantly badgers me that you can't put comics in cups. So I'm like, CJ, you were going to pay for this book. So
I remember that.
Yeah. And I'm thinking like, this isn't going to be the winning bid, but I think I bid 100 or 125 or something like that. And then I end up winning the book. And I'm like, all right, this is cool, whatever. But I end up getting Amazing Spider-Man 78. The first prowler.
3.5. Not bad.
I had a 3.5, so 3.5. So this, so now I'm like, maybe I just aim for books between 50 and 100. So
right? You're going to reevaluate your strategy here.
But I think if I just keep aiming high, eventually, it'll work out. It'll go lower. But yeah, every time I say a book between 200 and 300, I end up with a book between 50 and 100. So.
And you're eating ramen that week. More ramen.
Real.
Right? Oh man, yeah. Like I just went to Ollie's today, and I was saying they had new comic packs, and I think I spent like $50 on the comic packs there, or $60, whatever it was. Because I bought 10 of them at $5.99, and I'm like, I'm going to Heroes Con next year. Can we stop spending money?
Willpower.
Right? Yeah. That's something I'm liking.
See, that's something I'm good about, like Ollie's and stuff. Like the packs don't do anything for me because I know, like, I'll be lucky if I like one book in the pack. So so it's not like tempting for me.
Yeah. Well, I do have a few here. Like I'll show you what a couple of the ones I got. Like this is just the Amazing Spider-Man 1 from 99.
Yeah, and that's a good one.
I was like, that's a cool one. Got Uncanny X-Men 247.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah, see, now those packs are worth, just for those books, those packs are worth the price.
Right there. So
Right.
I was going to say, that book is screaming the birth of Bastion right on there.
West Coast Avengers 47 is another one.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, here's a decent one. This one was a big seller during the when Thor was out. Right. Here's Scar of Hulk.
Oh, nice.
And this is a variant copy. So this is a second printing of the book. And then here was a X-Men 300. So
right.
Holy crap. Okay.
Honestly, like I wasn't, I don't go in, and I think I have some other ones. I don't go in like expecting to find anything cool, but I was like,
now anytime I've looked at them, they've never had nice books like that inside the pack that you can see.
Right. Yeah. They must have just put out, because they had like a whole shelf and there was just a ton of books, and I was just like, All right. Like I went in there to pick up some like protein bars and some like pork rinds, and I was like, because they have cheap prices, Ollie's. If you guys don't know, Ollie's discount warehouse.
Yep.
And I also get my hand soap there. It's like $2. And they had all these comic backs, and I'm like, yes.
This guy came out, twisted your arm, and said, "Buy these right now," and you went, "Okay."
pretty much. Yeah. Pretty much. All right. So I do have another Spider-Man book, but that one's going to be my book with a bigger purpose, if you will.
Yeah, the storybook. Yeah,
storybook. And then I had another book up for that slot, but I don't know where it is. So what I do have though is I have 2 spec books. So I'm going to give you one now. We're going to do storybook, and then I'll give you what am I.
All right, let's do it. Double spec tonight.
The 10-1-1-1.
And I do have a
912.
We're breaking the rules here because we're going to break the rules. But this one is a book. I just like the book. I love the story. I think the covers on this series were phenomenal. And I don't understand why. Well, I understand why this character doesn't get. It got love for a little bit, and it should get some love now. And this is probably the time to give this character love. But we got Darth Vader #3, and I do have a 9.8 version of this one, but this is the 9.2.
Yep. Trev, where are you? This is his jam right here.
Yeah. So this with the Dr. Aphra, and I do have the first, second, and third printings of this, and I'm trying to get the fourth. The fourth printing actually is a little bit more pricier than the other.
Really?
Wow.
Less
than the second
printings of it. That's nice. Yeah. 9.2.
Yeah, so this is a 9.2, but I actually do have a 9.8. And I have 9.8s in the first, second, and third printing. And I believe, yeah, one of the 9.8s I got was from Nick. Nick's Kicks and
There
Comics.
you go.
So it all goes full circle. So that is a book that I think is just a little undervalued at the moment. And she's got to show up at some point. Yeah,
he's too popular a character to not show up.
It's a good time to get in on the book then, while it's a little bit down.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, I've seen people get it for about $100 or 125, and when you try to get it raw, it's like almost $50 raw. So it's like
you might as well just get it graded.
Yeah. Just get a slab. You're basically paying for the slabbing. Just to,
right.
9.8
and get your guaranteed grade on it.
So I think it's definitely a book worth. But also, like, the character's pretty awesome. And if you don't know, like, if you think that's C-3PO and R2-D2, it is not. It is 000 and BT-1. That's right, 000 and BT-1, and they're like killer droids. They're pretty funny.
Yeah, they're murder bots.
They basically just all they talk about is murdering people. Like, they're like, oh man, they need help. Should we just push them further off the cliff? Like, that just blew up. Maybe we should throw more grenades their way. Like, so they're really like funny droids, bots. All right, so this next one is one with the story.
Yes, sir.
The story is probably not that long, but it's a story that's special to me. So anyway, one day my mom called and she's just, she was a little sad, and it had been a few years. My grandmother passed away from cancer. So, guys, when C3 comes around, common scare cancer, good cause. She was just a little sad, and it was like a Wednesday. So, personally for me, my Wednesdays are like me time, new comic book day. Right. but my mom called, and I was like right outside the comic book store. And so I like walked out, I'm outside, I'm just talking to her. And I'm like, I know she thought of, she had a memory or something. And she's like, I'm just a little sad, a little depressed. And I'm like, okay, I'm like, we're good, we'll work through it. I love you. And, feel free to call me whenever. And we just talked, and
right.
had a good conversation. And so then I hang up the phone, and I'm like, all right. So now I'm a little depressed, and I walk in the store. And I walk in, and the first book I see on the shelf is this book right here, which is Miles Morales Spider-Man number 25. Now, this really has no correlation to cancer in any way, like the inside of the book or whatever, right?
Right.
But on here, one of the first things I saw is Justin Ponsor. And I had met Justin Ponsor at New York Comic Con, and like we legit had like an hour conversation. Like we hung out.
Holy crap.
It was awesome. Like
That's
I have like
cool.
a little sketchbook where, you know, they was just for autographs, and he like did a little sketch. So awesome.
Oh, nice.
And then about a year after that meeting, he passed away from cancer.
Oh man.
Yeah. So I walk in and I see this book, and I just remembered like how nice of a guy he was and how much time he gave. And then I remember my grandmother and how much time she gave. And I was just like, you know what? This book, for me, it just had a connection, right? Because I was like, here's two memories of people dying from cancer just attached to this one book. Like, I don't know. Like it just, there was a correlation. Like talked about my grandmother who passed away, and the first book I see has a person I know who passed away from cancer. Like, and I think that that's the thing too, to realize is like cancer like affects everybody and in numerous ways. Like I just had two different versions of meeting people or having people in my life with cancer. Like one guy, comic book artist, who just passed away from cancer, who I met and just had a good time. And then somebody who had been in my life for the entirety of it and, you know, loved me and coddled me and also passed away from cancer. It's like, it doesn't matter where you turn, who you know. There's not even like 6 degrees of separation or 7 degrees. It could be first degree every time, you know? So, so for me, like, it reminds me that, you know, one, we're lucky, and, you know, and two, you know, cancer's horrible. So,
right.
Cancer in the balls.
So yeah, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it on that one.
That's all right. Nice. It's a good share, man.
Great story.
Oh, thank you. I didn't know how much sense it would make to people, but to me, I was like, this book, every time I look at it.
Dude, I did the same thing on the 1011 with like the first book I showed.
Oh, there we go.
Mm-hmm.
It's right above me too. that Spider-Man second print signature.
Nice. All right. So I guess here's the actual spec book. All right. So this one I don't understand. Now, don't get me wrong. This is not a cheapy book. I think last time, so on the first show I was on, I brought the Champions #1, which is a lower price book, right? It's sub 50, but like that could be a book that goes bananas. Anyway, here is a book getting back to what we started with the X-Men. This is a book why I don't understand why it's not worth more. I think you could still get it for probably sub 200, maybe even sub 150. When I bought this book, it was steadily going for 75 to 100. So it's almost doubled in price in the last 2 or 3 years. But I would have banked that it would be worth a lot more now. You also have two creators on here who aren't getting any younger, and these guys are, you know, just X-Men royalty. So without further ado, and this isn't an X-Men title per se, but this is a character that spins out of X-Men. We have Wolverine #1, the limited series.
Newsstand.
This is the newsy.
Nice.
I think I actually have this. I also have a slabbed, not newsy. Woo! This one is signed by Chris Claremont.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Legendary.
Yeah. Maybe we'll get Frank Miller on there one day. But
it's a good book.
Yeah. So
spec worthy.
It is. And I would think by now this book would be
bigger than what it is. Yeah.
You know, $200-300. Nope. It's
Raws you can get for $50 still.
Right.
Yeah.
For a second I thought you were gonna bring out the first Jubilee.
Yeah.
There ain't nothing wrong with the first Jubilee.
I have it slabbed in a 9.6.
$244.
I bought
That's
it
a good one too.
For $70 too, Cliff.
Oh, damn.
For the 9.6.
Another underrated book.
That is a severely underrated book.
Yeah, those ones raw are cheap too.
I saw one the other day at the comic shop for like, I think they had it priced at like $25 or something. And I was like, I should buy that. And I was like, I already have a copy. And I was like,
well, also the X-Men,
2 copies.
263 or whatever. The first Firestar in continuity is still a dirt cheap book. You can get that for $15-18.
Mm-hmm.
Right. No, it's crazy. And yeah, I just don't, you know what? I understand. I don't understand it, but I will buy if I see a copy of Wolverine for like $75. I'll buy it every time. Like, there's no reason not to grab it. It's just, it's a book that it's not going to lose value.
No, God, no.
No, yeah, it's a blue chip at this point.
Yeah, it's only going to go up. So even, it's one of those blue chippers that is still, it's not $1,000 book, but it'll never lose value. I should have bought a lot more when they were only like, $25, $50, or when they were selling like, the four issues together for like, $100, $75.
I know, because that black cover is hard to get in high grade, and some of them had that defect on the cover. It's a pain.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
that Wolverine the black cover Wolverine #1, like it's like a 9.6 goes for $300 easy.
Oh, and the continuing story when they did the first series.
And even that one was relatively cheap.
Yeah.
About a year or 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. It's pretty cheap.
And let me throw a quick reminder out there for everyone watching tonight. After this show, head over to the Circumstances channel for FOC and Chill.
Oh, Marcus.
Let's go.
Great 12 books, man.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun, Will.
Thank you. It was the first time on the show was like nerve-wracking. I was like, I got to pick 12 books and talk about them. And one of them needs to have, the story one was easy because I had a Stan Lee autograph one from what I met.
Yeah, that was a good story too, that one.
I was like, I have this story. Yeah. It's like the story I have locked up. I was like, I just need like 11 other books,
But it doesn't have to be that intimidating because it's not a top 10. It's just 10 favorites.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, and everybody's pretty much got stories for almost every book they own.
That's the best part.
Yeah.
That's right. Could pick up, I could probably pick up some obscure books and be like, I picked this up because, it was a 90s book and the girl had big boobs, whatever. But
dude, I love hearing about these books that are just like really personal to people that no one else has ever heard of or seen, or it's just something silly, it's just awesome.
Yeah. No, I did, I was talking to some friends and we talked about like 90s books, just talking about it. And like one of his favorite books was the Silver Sable book. Because it's embossed, it's raised.
Yeah, yeah.
It's raised in the right spots.
I have that entire run.
But it was fun. The 90s were fun because you got art that was a little different.
Foil, and more foil.
Right.
Foil covers, embossed covers, foil embossed
prismatic covers, chromium covers, die cut covers,
glow in the dark.
Yeah, everything.
Scratch and sniff.
I can't imagine what you guys are talking about.
Yeah, bedazzled. The books were bedazzled.
Right? Like,
I mean,
it's like a delic.
Right, look at this.
Yeah, there we go.
I love it.
And it's funny too, right? Because it's like an X-Men 300. You think it'd be worth something. That book's like a $3 book.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's like a first appearance in there somewhere or something, but
there is. And again, if you can get it in a 9.8, and then you're doing all right.
Just saying.
But you have to get that 9.8 to do all right. Otherwise, it's like, here, give me what I paid CGC to grade it and be done with me.
But what I did realize, to make this long story short, is that for me, when I was putting together these books, I fell into a theme. And I was like, I can tell a story I can tell a bigger story outside of each individual story if I just kind of, work it into my comic collecting life.
Right.
Yeah.
And,
that was cool.
how each purchase kind of happens. So
that's a great idea.
So with that being said, I'm already planning for episode, my third appearance. So
that's all right. Well, it'll happen. So we won't wait here this time. We'll get you back before that.
But we got to get the remark on this first. So
yes, that's right.
Yeah, I know.
That's your ticket back in.
The rules have been set down, so
we need to see that book first, and then he can come on the show. If not, then it's like drop him.
Right
now, we're gonna see him on CNN tackling Peach Momoko for a remark.
No, and that woman
is in jail after tackling comic artist.
All right, that's how the die came into play. All right, everybody, because her first New York Comic Con appearance, I was there. It was a nightmare.
It was pretty bad. I was there I was on one of the lines, and like 2 hours passed, And I swear, if this was this
It got
square,
bigger.
it's how far we moved, like in 2 hours. Because she was doing remarks for like the first 50 people. And then I think she felt bad because Peach Momoko is a peach. Like she's a absolute like sweet lady. And I think she felt bad that she was only doing like the first 50 after seeing the crowd that came. So she was giving remarks to like
everybody.
Oh, how nice of her.
And that was like the first day.
Very ugly scene. She ended up hiding under her table. It was very, very crazy. There's entitled jackholes who come with a cart full of books who expect because I paid to be here, you should sign this entire short box of comics for me.
Yep.
I was so angry. Dark Phoenix Cliff almost came out. You don't want Magneto Cliff. You do not want Dark Phoenix Cliff. They are bad.
Magneto was right, Cliff.
Yeah, Magneto's right, Cliff. Terrifying. Hulk Cliff is on the ready all the time. Super terrifying. Super terrifying. Mess with him on the 4th of July.
Big giant green rage monster.
Fourth of July. Cliff floating above New York Comic Con Artist Alley and like, oh shit.
That is my ultimate power fantasy. Let me get Storm or Magneto's powers. All right. Woo!
There you go. Joe said last year they limited it to 3 and you needed to get a ticket to take your turn.
Yeah. And the ticket was like from some booth that was like around the corner from where she was.
Well, I mean, there's got to be limits. When you have hundreds and hundreds of people coming, you're going to have one jackass go up there with a short box. That's just ridiculous.
But no, it wasn't just one.
No, there's a bunch of Karens.
I know. I was just thinking
Karens to the right. Everywhere,
yeah.
Karen.
I like to call these people the vultures. You know? Yeah. These are the people who you only see show up on Free Comic Book Day. You only see them looking for a sale. You see whenever a shop is closing, they're the first ones to appear.
Yep.
These people are the vultures.
Yep.
Right, and then on their eBay, everything's double and triple priced.
Because they're monsters. Like what happened to Terry Dodson. Remember that guy? Oh, my sister's in the hospital. She's dying of cancer. Can you draw me a Wonder Woman? Draw me a Wonder Woman. Oh, I'm not going to be here Sunday. Can you have it ready tomorrow morning? Oh. And Saturday night on eBay.
And the Daltons are wonderful. I love them.
They are amazing. But let me tell you, that
Carol
really
Danvers.
affects them.
It's one of my favorite slabs is that Avenging Spider-Man 9.
That's good.
In the 9.8, which I got from Nick's Kicks and Comics.
Nice.
All right, let's go around, see what everybody's got coming up. Steve, we're going to start with you.
Okay, I'm going to do the Voices Choices tomorrow night. Mondays, I got my little Transformer thing going, and I can't afford to buy books from my comic shop anymore, so I probably won't have any Friday videos. I'll just do my little shorts on my Mad cards until Rob's Fat Stacks books get here. That's going to be an epic unboxing. Crap, the stuff I won was hilarious in that one. So that's me.
All right, so Cliff, we're going to go with you, then me, then we'll finish with our guest.
Well, tomorrow night, the Council of Comics is live at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as we present new Comic Book Day live because we have trouble editing and doing stuff.
Are you going to be live from your comic book store again? I want to see their store again.
We will do live from the comic book store sometime. The thing is, the only person who can go live in the shop and it not turn to dust, it seems to be my phone. And only in one specific spot of the store. Otherwise, it's
a void area.
But I would love to do that sometime again. I may do. Who knows? Maybe I'll do it on a. I don't know when I'll do it. I'll figure it out. You know. I love there. I was just there tonight. All right, Wednesday we're doing that. Friday I will be on In the Mix with DJ Lynx. I'm subbing for one of the guys. Saturday morning, DJ Lynx will be on Coffee and Comics with Cliff, and that'll be lovely. Sunday night, the box office, and we're reviewing the second Riddick film Sunday night on the Council of Comics.
Oh, cool.
Mondays is New Keys and Hot Comics, and this Monday is your last chance for a duck. And at the end of the show, we run the duck race to see who won the super ginormous prize package we have for this month, which includes this Green Lantern, includes this Deathlock, includes this Vampirella slab.
Holy
So
crap.
come check it out.
Nice. Swim, you little bastards. Swim.
Yeah.
All right, coming up for me in 2 nights' time, like I said, we're gonna have Doug Bratton on In the Hot Seat with the Usual Suspects, and we're gonna be interviewing him and talking to him about his Isolation Kickstarter, the trade paperback that collects issues 1 through 4 that used to be on Soldier Publishing, now is gone the Kickstarter route, and he's already funded over 400%. So congrats to Doug Bratton and team.
That's
and
phenomenal.
we're going to have a lot of fun just talking about that. I'm going to have Joe on. We'll have Jim. And Steve, you're welcome to join us too if you like. Just let me know.
Okay.
But it's going to be a good time. And then next week, we have Flash by Night making his second appearance on the 10-1-1 on Tuesday. So TJ will be here. And then on the 30th, we have Brian LCS coming on to talk about The Doctor and his Kickstarter. So we got 2 Kickstarter promos in the next 2 weeks coming on the channel on In the Hot Seat. So it's going to be fun. And Cuppy, what's up? What's coming up for you, sir?
So today, actually, I released the previews of the comics coming out this week. So I do spec books, I do spotlight books, I do books that were FOC. So by the time you watch the video, FOC is done. But I'm like, hey, if you pre-ordered them, you'll probably get these. And if you don't, your comic shop can probably still order them, but you know, it may be limited. But anyway, I do like an after FOC thing, and then I do the rest of the books coming out this week. So that dropped today. Usually I drop it on Mondays, but my sister graduated this weekend from college. So
nice. Congrats.
I had to thank you. We're very proud of her. She actually so I have a master's. She just got her bachelor's, but now the program she's going into, when it's finished, she'll have a doctorate. And so I was like, we're very competitive. So now I'm like,
now you need to be a doctor. Dr. Will.
I'm not that competitive. I'm going after a doctorate. All right. Who is paying my bills?
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, as long as you're in school, you don't have to pay back the loans.
Yeah.
Just stay in school.
It's a trap. It's a trap. And
It
the
is
next
a
thing you
trap.
know, you're in one of my mental health clinics because you don't stop going to school.
Or buying comics.
Yeah.
Now, Cup of Comics was being gracious earlier and mentioning other people's milestones, but he just passed 700. So I think that's a milestone that we should congratulate Cuppy on as well.
Absolutely.
So on the 800, 900, and 1,000, good sir.
Congrats.
Thank you. Yeah, no, that's fun, and it's all due to everybody out there. Like I can watch myself only so many times.
Okay. But I do. I just look. I do just past 700.
Nice. Ooh, congrats.
So
I think when I looked at you last, you were at 676. So
yeah, I'm at 705 right now.
Nice.
Because I was like, oh, I'm really close to 700, and I pulled it up. I'm like, I'm at 705.
Yay.
Hang on, I think I'm at 106 or something.
Come on, Will. Let us race to 1,000 and do a dual stream.
Yeah, I'm at 106.
The race is on. It's
don't cross the streams.
Don't never cross the streams.
Listen. Will can cross streams. Will can fill my cup up. Will can do whatever he wants, basically.
All right, spiraling out of control.
It is. All right. Also, you can join me tomorrow on with Psychotronic Square Gun. Aaron, we do chaotic comic covers and more. wait, I got that totally wrong. Chaotic comic book cover displays and more with friends. That is the title of the show.
Say that 5 times fast.
Yeah, exactly. Cheap Comic Collector's on there as well, and Easy Comic Reader is on there. So we also have Rob and Mike on there. And usually we randomly pick covers and show them. I'm the guy who also brings his new comic book day haul. The other guys bring a lot of the older stuff. Last week we actually went into some like record covers and stuff like that. But we stick within like a pop culture art thing, and usually it's just comic covers. So it's a fun time to hang out. And then this week, I think on Thursday or Friday, I might give you guys a little break. It's a lot of days than me. We already have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday I was on. So I'm going to just reveal what I got from Nick's Kicks and Comics and that $65 mystery box. And then join me on next Monday again for Monday Night Raw Books, where we open up books. On that one, I have a purchase from Things from Another World that came in, and then I am expecting another Spider-Man key to come in. So this one may fit into the 200 to 300 comic category, but you'll have to tune in to see.
And watch Will eat ramen live.
Yes.
And since Steve held it up a couple times tonight, if you want your own copy of Need, the link is in the description below. And hey, if you read it, I would love for you to leave a review on Amazon. That helps the algorithm of it selling. But thank you to my guest host, my co-host, and thank you to my guests. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you all being here. I appreciate your distinctive voices and everything you guys bring to the show. The show is absolutely 100% more entertaining with good people like you on it, and I appreciate it. And also, thank you so much to the chat who's always out here and supportive. Thank you, guys. And for anyone catching us on the rewind, thank you so much. We appreciate your time. We appreciate the thumbs up, the shares, all of it. Thank you so much. Please sum up everybody in the description below. Cliff, I'll be adding you into this since you're on the episode. And of course, as I like to end these things, keep it casual.
See ya.